Very self-aware of how much stuff you have in your life that has your information on it, right? You're like medical bills, credit card bills, receipts, all of this. And if you're looking at it, do you know who else is waiting for you to just toss that in the trash or just stumble upon? Is the bad guys. We know shredding is something we should do with any piece of information that has and it doesn't have to be in one, right? They collect it all together and now they're you buying stuff, right? We know we should shred, but we don't because the old shredders, you had to sit there and do one at a time. It would jam up. You couldn't do credit cards. If it had a staple in it, then you had to go find a staple remover. This is from HP. They said, put 100 sheets in this shredder and walk away. Let me shred them without you even in the room. In the front, you can do an additional 10 sheets in the front. They're like, oh, credit cards, we'll shred that too. Staples, we're gonna shred that too. Jam-free rollers that's in here. And in the progression of being able to get ahead of the bad guys, we had microcut at one point. We were like, oh, microcut was great. It was get it down to real small. They can't get that. Not bad guys figured it out. This is the most advanced. It's called Finecut shredding. It's on wheels. It's free shipped out to you because I know this is the perfect time where you need this shredder. And let me take $60 off an HP. Now, I'm gonna go through the colors, and I heard Aaron Berger give Tamara Hooks all the flowers for getting the colors right. So I'm gonna nail these colors right now. This is the one that we are calling the cloud blue, beautiful light cloud blue. The one that's up front is the one that we are calling the juniper. This is our brick red. 115 left in the brick red. Here it is in the black. And furthest over there is my portobello.
A true professional. I don't know, we're gonna have to have a color off between you and Tamara.
I heard you. You're like, Tamara, you got the colors right. You did so
hard.
good.
I'm always like, I'm so glad I don't have to know all the fancy color names. That's hard.
I said, hold my beer, Aaron Berger. I'm gonna get them right.
Here I come.
I said in the progression of shredders, right? We got shredding, 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 shredding. Finecut's the best that we can get.
The best.
And you took away all of the, this is why I don't shred.
We made it so simple. So not only is this the most complete shred of any HP shredder we've done, so it's the finest, it's the smallest shred, it's also just jam-packed and so easy to use. So what I'm showing you now, this is the manual shred slot that's in front of the shredder. So you can do what I'm doing right now, 1 page at a time, 2 pages at a time, blah, 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 up to 10, I don't mean blah, 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 I mean up to 10 pages. Obviously, you don't have to be delicate with it. Not just paper. This is a big deal. This is a really strong engine in here. So these are credit cards. I'm just popping in credit cards. Yeah, you can't do that with most shredders, obviously. So when you get credit card offers and you get reward card offers, you get all that junk in the mail, and you really need to not just throw that away. You really need to shred it. It has so much of your personal information on it. Even staples. This is one of my favorite parts, is that staples can go through there as well. Used to be, you'd have to go through and take, grab the staple remover, take staples out of every document before it went through your shredder. Not anymore. So those are all shredded. None of that is the best part. I always wonder, should I start with the best or should I get there? But I like to lead up to it. This is actually the best part, and this is the auto document shredder. So what this means is up to 100 sheets at one time. You pop them in here. You're getting rid of your, let's do it this way. You're getting rid of your utility bills. You're getting rid of your tax documents after 7 years. You're getting rid of your junk mail. You're getting rid of any piece of paper that have personal information or school information. A lot of us are registering our kids for camps this time of the year, and we put their address, and we put their name, and we put where we're located, and all of that personal information adds up to, frankly, a really easy way for people to take your personal information. Now, it's not just me, and it's not just Tina that thinks it's a really good idea to protect your personal information. It is, in fact, the Federal Trade Commission. So here's what the federal government says. They say, there are many steps consumers can take to minimize their risk of being an identity theft victim. For example, consumers should closely guard their social security number. I think we all get that.
Yeah.
But you should also shred your charge receipts, shred copies of credit applications, and shred other sensitive documents. Basically, if you've got it in your house right now, tearing it up, tossing it in the garbage, putting a zip tie around it, that's not enough.
No.
You really need to shred it. And particularly as we are in tax season, we are knee deep in tax season. You've got so many financial documents. Either you're filing them yourself, they're going to your accountant, you're saving some are over 7 years old. You wanna get rid of those. Well, in fact, just give you a really quick look. When do you shred things? Well, some things right away, like your ATM, your sales receipts, credit card statements, and offers, paid utility bills. Shred those right away. These, again, are all recommendations we take from agencies and from the government. Up to a year, shred your pay stubs, your bank statements, and your paid undisputed medical bills. And after 7 years, if you've got it, shred it. W-2s, 1099s, K-1. If it's in your old, people have old car payments and old house payments, and after a certain amount of time, all that is really tinder waiting to set your personal information on fire, if you will, your privacy on fire. You want to shred those things. And with now the finest cut, and I'm gonna get into that in a second, with the most complete cut we've ever done at a really great value, today's a great day to do it.
It's almost like the progression of shredders, right?
Yeah,
Because I think when I was much younger and I originally had a shredder, by the way, and I sat there and did the one, this is what came out, the one that I had, right? And that was great. The bad guys, that's their whole job, is to figure out how to do what they do for a living, which is the bad guy stuff, right? I had that. Then we've also talked about microcut.
Yep, that was better.
Finecut.
Yeah. So here's the maybe we'll just take a minute to kind of walk through this, and I want to explain why we need this better shredding. So as Tina said, this was the first type of shredder that she had,
that
many of us had, and you can still buy it. This is called a strip cut shred. Well, with a strip cut, you can literally read full lines of information still. Like my 5-year-old could put this puzzle together, right? This is not complicated. We moved on from there. We got better, much better even, with a cross-cut shred. So a cross-cut shred basically takes this strip, and you guessed it, it cross-cuts it. The problem is, if you find the right piece of information, there's still a lot of information available. So until now, the gold standard has been, until we just came out with the fine cut, until that, it's been the micro cut. And micro cut was really fine until that. You can see a couple of pieces of information there. You might have heard in the past year a whole lot about AI, about artificial intelligence. Well, AI allows people to take a tiny little bit of information they might have about you, a couple of letters for an address, a couple of numbers for a social security number or a driver's license or whatever, and all of a sudden they've got everything they know to basically appear as though they are you online. That's been the problem with AI. Now, here's the good news. What I've shown you so far is what we've been able to offer until now. Starting now, we have a technology that changes everything. You haven't seen these shreds yet. Ready? I'm gonna just kind of line them out right here so you can see the difference. This is, I'm pulling it right out of here, this is what fine cut shreds look like. You can't find a letter, you can't find a number, you can't find an @ symbol, you can't find a character. This is your new level of security, and this is the new gold standard for security. So it's easy to do, but it's also the most complete shred we've ever had from HP.
Listen, shred, right? You took out all your stuff. You've been holding onto your receipts all year, so you can give them to your accountant or yourself when you're doing your taxes. We do this specific thing on sale and talk about it because it's the one time of year we become very aware of how many things we have and own that has all of our information on it. If you have not been affected by, having the bad guys get your identity, you know somebody for sure. I feel like this has been very commonplace, right? Someone's like, something popped up on my credit card. I don't know how it got there. I had to go through all of these steps with my, bank or my, something's on my credit report. It's the easiest way to get something that is now securing all of that information, right? Receipts, your medical bills, you applied for a house, stuff that I fill out for Riker all the time for the school. I want to shred it so nobody else can get it. People are looking in trash cans. I've had neighbors put videos of their cameras on their house, and they're like, oh, this was at 3 a.m. Somebody was digging through my trash. And I was like, what? Somebody's going through our trash can looking for our stuff. And I have a specific story I always talk about, Aaron. I was in my early 20s. I remember I was sleeping. The phone rang, it was the bank. And I'm like, hello? this is 20-year-old Tina, and they said, hi, 20-year-old Tina that doesn't have any money. Are you staying at a really fancy hotel in Tempe? I lived in Arizona at the time, and I was like, no. And they said, we didn't think so, but somebody is on your card. I called the police. They called the resort. I went with the police to the resort, went into the room with Tina in there, who was on doing room service every night, was getting all the shebang, and I got to see the person that stole my identity, which is not the satisfaction that everybody gets. It was so wonderful. But the amount of me trying to figure out, how did she get it? How would I will never, forever in my life, figure out how this woman got enough pieces of my information to go now put a hotel stay under my name.
And to a certain extent, you were lucky. A lot of people, it takes years and years and years, and they don't ever get that satisfaction. Marlo tells a story. It literally took her probably hundreds of hours to ever, you know, get her identity back. I want to do a little game show moment. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put up a clock. I'll ask the crew to tell me when the clock is up. I just do this as an example to show you the shredder is really fast too, and that's one of the nice things about it. Okay,
it's like our game clock, 30-second game clock.
We're going to see how many. That's one. We got junk mail out of here. We got a blank page out of here in 30 seconds. This is our third page, personal information. Page 4, credit card statements and offers. We're just moving through these shreds very quickly. Financial information, that's our 5th page. Our 6th page is utility bills. Our 7th page is tax documents. That's so important, especially this time of year. 8th page is junk mail. Page 9, we're definitely going to get through 9, is utility bills. We're at the very end here. We'll see that was 9. So we got through, we'll call it 9. Almost got through 10, or even more tax documents. The point is, it's fast, it's easy to use. You can be using both shredding slots at the same time, by the way. And 2 more quick things. It is incredibly easy to move because it's on casters. So it's on wheels. It only weighs about 20 pounds, so you can pick it up too. It comes fully assembled. That's something